So to conclude the show, we kind of wanted to do a section where we talk about a movie that we saw the previous week. And while we didn't see a new release that we normally do, just because we've been really busy working on Quiver and movie stuff, we also just wanted to talk about something. And what we did watch recently is we watched the new Hulu original film, Prey, the latest entry in the Predator franchise. And we kind of wanted to give our thoughts and opinions on it. Nick, I'm going to let you go first. Thoughts on Prey?
I loved it. That movie was great. There's this discourse going around online, which I don't care for, where people say it is the best Predator movie since the original. I'm going to shut that shit down right now because 2015's The Predator, 2018's The Predator, directed by Shane Black, is a cinematic masterpiece. There are approximately 3 people that like that movie, and all 3 of them are movie nights. It's myself, Kyler, and Dalton. So listen.
One of the few times we agree is
listen, here's the thing. I understand entirely why Prey went to Hulu, because no Predator movie has made money at the box office. So it makes sense. The fact that I didn't get to see Prey in a theater saddens me. You can tell they gave him a very tight budget, but man, they gave you a tight story, and everything about it was just executed so wonderfully, I thought, it's a predator on his first trip to Earth. Maybe, potentially, who's got to go fight a Comanche warrior, and they just duke it out.
Yeah, and I also like the films. It was able to. By the way, I agree with all your sentiments. I think Prey is. I think it's a fantastic film, and I really liked the use of them speaking Comanche and then turning it into English. But it's recognized that like they're speaking Comanche, and it would have been cool to see them film it in the Comanche language. I know they've gone back and they've redubbed it in Comanche that you can watch.
Yeah,
but I like watching films how they were shot. And since it was shot in English, I prefer that version.
Well, the thing is, too, there wasn't that much dialogue to begin with.
And, you know, one, for a Hulu, I think it's like a $30 million Hulu movie, something like that. Maybe, no, actually it's more. I think it's like 80. It looked fine. Like, it looked good. You can tell that it wasn't, like, intended for theatrical release.
Some of the animal
CGI was a bit off.
Were a little wonky, but the Predator
looked great.
Awesome. Mostly practical, I think, too, right?
Yes, and the practical effects look great.
Go practical.
Yes. Awesome kills.
Some of the best of the franchise.
You really buy the characters, you buy their motivation, and you really, there's a family dynamic that you buy into, and you're in. Oh, and the dog. The dog was awesome.
The dog is awesome and was a rescue, a shelter dog, a rescue. It was not a trained actor, so that was great to see some representation. Adopt, don't shop.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it was just good.
No,
Dan Trachtenberg's a great director. I love 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, he is a great filmmaker, and this is a meme now of like, let's drop the Predator and like, I know the famous one on TikTok right now is let's put him in like Samurai Japan.
Yeah.
But like do this with every franchise. You know, I want to see a Final Destination movie that takes place in the 1600s on pirate ships. That's what I want to see. Like, let's go. Like, let's do this with. I hope. Of all the things that became trends in Hollywood, God, I hope this becomes a trend with horror franchises.
Where they just start picking random things in it.
Yes.
Well, that's what we've been saying about the Evil Dead for years, too.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, dude.
Old school
Evil Dead would be so sick.
I mean, Army of Darkness, but put them in a different spot. But, no, I think it was something that breathed. It breathed new life into the franchise, which was exciting to see. And it was a simple story, and people have been responding very positively to it. So it goes to show if you have a good script, a good filmmaker, you could do things very well.
Just for the memes, do you want to know the Rotten Tomatoes score for The Predator? The Shane Black's The Predator?
Yeah.
They're tied, audience and critics, at 33.
Incorrect.
It's so good.
But going back to Prey, though, it was just...
I hope that the next Predator movie is in theaters because of how good it was.
Yeah.
And I hope they give it to Dan Trachtenberg.
There were also some wonderful callbacks
to other films in the Predator
which
franchise.
I guess would be a call forward.
Yeah.
There was some great world building.
Yeah, and we won't spoil
in it. Yeah, we won't spoil it, but there's some wonderful stuff
surprising.
in it. Like some that Dalton had to point out to me, and I was like, oh, well, that's just rad that's in that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it was just a good time altogether.
Yeah. Awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed Prey.
I would definitely recommend you to check it out.
Oh, yes.
I don't think we're going to do ratings in this segment.
Probably not.
Because we scale differently, too.
Yes. And also, what I think we should do, and I'm going to steal this. I'm stealing this directly from Dan Murrell, because I love his channel. Especially if you love box office, oh my God, you got to watch. If you like us talking about the box office, you got to watch The King. You got to watch Dan Murrell talk about the box office. But what he does in his reviews is he goes, I recommend it or I don't. And I'm like, that's a good line.
I recommend it.
I recommend it as well. I love it.
Yeah.
And, the only really issues I have with the movie is that some of it did feel kind of cheap. And the pacing in the beginning was a bit, like, I was like, all right. Yes, it establishes and it builds, but part of it was like, okay, I could really use something happening right now. But, other than that, amazing. Love the film.
Yeah.
And I think it's really all we had planned for the show today, bro.
I think so, too. It's a good one. Thanks for tuning in for the long episode.
Thanks for tuning in for the long stories. Thank you for watching the interview. And as for the interview, I'm going to put links to the social media accounts for Riptides and for the two amazing gentlemen that we interviewed, Shariko and Paolo. And, please check out the description. Please check out those pages. And eventually, check out the series. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.